Hey everybody, it's Marking Bad, and it's time for Chapter 5 of Reasonable Replies to SJWs with the shirtless stylings of Michael Rowland.
Are you aware that the ridiculous buzzwords you helped to popularize, like SJW and cuck and regressive, have all lost whatever meaning they once had and only serve now as catch-all insults and pejoratives to derail any meaningful conversation?
You realize that the overuse of terms like patriarchy, misogynist, sexist, racist, fascist, Nazi, transphobe, homophobe, Islamophobe, and bigot, etc., 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 as catch-all pejoratives have eliminated any legitimate value they might have had in a conversation? I mean, it's not as though feminists repeatedly use MRA as an insult without recognizing that if a particular feminist does advocate for men's rights, that would inherently make them an MRA, or that disagreement with feminism does not imply misogyny unless disagreement with men's rights advocacy implies misandry. At least try to be a little consistent here, Mike.
You do understand that reading the title of a book or an article or watching the first 15 seconds of a video is not going to give you a deep, nuanced understanding of what that book or article or video is about, right? That being said, how can you expect to understand or critique feminist sources if you don't even attempt to understand what they're trying to say?
So you and Steve Shives make fundamentally an identical point here, Michael, that people are, well, they're lazy and they will feed their cognitive biases. But you don't appear to be picking up on the fact that people are lazy and will feed their cognitive biases. And this is not particular to anti-SJWs. This happens in any group you can possibly imagine that is on one side of a discussion or another. This happens with, just in the context of open borders versus closed borders. You see that all the time. This is not just an anti-SJW thing. Everybody does it. But to address the underlying appeal to ignorance, I don't have to read the entirety of Scientology's library to be able to critique them for being, well, batshit crazy. And I don't have to read absolutely every word ever written by a feminist to criticize their logical inconsistencies.
Why is it that you go on and fucking on about safe spaces and trigger warnings and delicate little flowers, but continue to hide behind your cartoon avatars and your childish pseudonyms, and whenever anyone calls you out on your sexist, racist, homophobic, bigoted rhetoric, you become the argument of your own scorn and are hashtag triggered, as they say?
Michael, are you seriously going to engage in a genetic fallacy when it's clear and obvious that ideologues of numerous stripes will attempt to instigate financial, legal, and social repercussions for disagreement? I mean, Clementine Ford is a thing. Stephanie Guthrie is a thing. Those are just two examples amongst feminists. And feminists are not the only ones who do this. I don't judge Chrisiosity's or ranting feminists' opinion based on the presence of their avatar or the lack of their avatar. I judge their positions based on the merit of those positions. And you are certainly smart enough to demonstrate the intellectual honesty to do exactly the same. And that concludes another episode of Reasonable Replies for SJWs. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or irrational hatred, please find me in the comments section below, or feel free to pursue me on Facebook and Twitter. Or don't, because I'm here for my validation, and not for yours.